the
The packet?
supporting packet?
Yes, ma'am. It was emailed. Do you need another copy?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Okay.
Okay, we are live.
Randy, is it going to my AOL account?
Randy, let me know when you're ready so I can call a meeting to order.
It was sent, Ms. Nori, it was just sent, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, I think we're ready.
You ready, Mr. Perez? Randy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. I'm calling this meeting to order. It is a special meeting on 08/28/2020. And I'm gonna ask Nelly Hernandez to call roll of the council. Nelly?
Yes, Mayor, good afternoon. I do see Ms. Nori Garza, Mr. Plata, Mr. Vela. I do not see Councilwoman Ochoa, I'm sorry.
And the mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, Mayor Ocaña's online.
Present.
So yes, Mayor, I believe we have everyone except Councilwoman Ochoa. I don't see Councilwoman Ochoa.
Oh, we do have quorum, am I correct?
Yes, sir, we do.
I'm gonna call for a special meeting agenda item number 2, the discussion on preliminary budget. Now I'm gonna ask Mr. Perez to take the lead on this, Mr. Perez, and then if you need your staff, you call upon him as wish.
Yes, sir. Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining today's meeting. I will go through this discussion of preliminary budget. I will go through it briefly. I do have some items that I would like to point out that were that have changed and have been updated. However, we have seen most of this information already in a previous workshop, and I would just go through it briefly. The first page, like we've seen, and I'm going through this preliminary budget as we've seen before, because we do have a discussion and action on the next item for the tax rate. And so I do want to show the different impacts of the different tax rates, so that way we can have that information for the next item. So like we've seen before, City of Mission, we're currently at 5212. That's our net taxable value at 4.6 billion and 24 5.4 million in estimated levy. It is in order, and that's our current tax rate. Whether it's the 5299 tax rate or the 5490 tax rate that we will be looking over, will still be in the same spot as far as our neighboring cities. We will not go up or down based on the comparison that the other cities have. So next page. This is the benchmark that we've seen before. However, this is the 5490 voter approval rate. This is what it's called, what it used to be called the rollback rate. With the 5490, we would generate an additional 1.1 million based on this calculation. On the 5299, which is the other amount, the 3.5%, the additional revenue would be 514,346. That's what this slide represents. Next slide. The next slide represents the property tax revenue projections. As we've seen before, our current rate for at the 5212 would generate approximately at 100% 23.2 million. With the 5299 rate, it would generate approximately 24.8 million, and the 5290 would generate approximately 25.7 million. That's at 100%. Again, we budget 96% of collection, which is the box in the bottom, showing that the difference in percentage, which would be the current rate at 22.3 million, the 5299 at 23.8 million, and 5490 would be 24.6 million. So just to show the difference on this particular one, like we mentioned before, the additional revenue would be based on the proposed rate. Next slide. Again, this is the impact on both tax rates as well as it impacts the budget. 5299, it's a difference of 0.0087. And the impact on the annual impact for a 100 is $8.70. 150,000 is $13.05, and 300,000 is $26.10. The 5490 again is the difference between 0.278. That would be the difference. Again, 100,000 is $27.80. 150 is $41.70, and 300,000 is $83.40. That's we've seen that prior to, but I just wanted to show that to show the household impact on the tax rate that we will be proposing. This is the 2-month fund balance reserve policy that we have. Our current operating expenditures at 44 million. 1 month is approximately 3.5, and 2 months is 7.1 million. So that's the minimum requirement that we have as our fund balance policy in the general fund. The next slides. So we've seen these scenarios before. I do want to point out the difference on this particular scenarios. They're the same scenarios that we've seen before. The difference is that the rate calculates the fund balance. If you recall, in the previous workshop, we made some adjustments to be able to, after the discussion that we had last time. So if you go into, I just want to point your attention to the bottom at the 52, for example, option A at 5212. Our current estimated fund balance is 3,047,000. The general fund balance after that adjustment 1.7. And I want to point that out because this number, the 3,047,000 in this particular rate was 225,000 before. So we did make some major adjustments that I'll go over here shortly. That would make that determination on how we increase those balances based on these options. So I do want to point out that we are looking at the different options. That's also something to get direction on as far as what we're proposing for next year. Again, we won't be able to take action, but we can take direction if we have consensus on any of these options. But I do want to point out the difference of fund balance going down on even on the same rate. The 5299 rate, for example, option A would be 3.5 million, and general fund balance after the adjustment would be 2.2 million. And so with the 5490, that particular option, our general estimated fund balance is 4.3 million, and the general fund balance would be 3 million. So if we can follow that through the different proposals, that way we know the overall impact with these adjustments that we made to be able
I'm
to
joking, I don't speak much.
adjust.
But the only way it's learn. I like to learn new stuff, yeah.
David. Okay, so moving forward, I wanted to show these are the different options. We can, if you all have specific questions on each one, please let me know. I wanted to show the next slide. So this is a bar graph that we created to show the different options. If you look at the options on the bottom, option A, B, C, D, all the way through I, well, if you look at the very top line, that's a $7.1 million fund balance, a 2-month reserve policy. The red line is a 1-month reserve fund balance. And so I wanted to show this as an illustration of where we would be based on the adjustments that we do propose as a consensus. But I do show of course, the 5490 is the highest. This is the balances that it would indicate based on each of the options. At the 5490 is that light blue color. Again, this is after the adjustments. It would be very, very close to a 1-month reserve fund balance. So this is an indication of the 2-month and the 1-month based on the rate. Any questions on this particular graph?
I just want to mention that our goal is to be on the 7 million. The goal of the city is to be on the 7 million fund balance. I just want to make that point, Mr. President.
Yep.
Go ahead and continue.
Yes, sir. That's that is our current internal fund balance policy, and that is the goal. Yes, sir. The next item, I wanted to show this is the general fund preliminary budget overall. If you go down to the last page to show fund balance, Angie. So basically, this is the detail of the general fund. However, I do want to point out that for the most part, all the departments remain the same operational budget wise dollar amount, and so it's basically a continuation budget from this current fiscal year to next year. And so I do want to show that our estimated fund balance with the adjustments that we've made, we're estimating at 5.4 million to end this year with a fund balance of 3.5 for next year at the end of next year. Keep in mind, these fund balances does not include any salary adjustments or any additional capital outlay or any additional major projects. So I just wanted to point that out, considering that this is again, this budget was prepared with a 5299 tax rate. I did not want to overestimate revenues and expenditures based on the previous workshops, but this amount, if we do propose a 5490, the 3.5 fund balance amount would increase to approximately 4.3 million instead of the 3.5. So I just wanted to clarify that. This, what you're seeing on the screen right now is currently at the 5299. the next year fund balance is 3.5. And if we propose and adopt or propose to adopt the 5490, this 3.5 million would increase to 4.3 million. So I just wanted to clarify that as well. Any questions on this particular slide?
No,
Okay. Sir, as far as discussion of preliminary budget, sir, that's what I have. And unless there's any specific questions, I wanted to show, the impact of the overall before we take a record vote on the tax rate.
Well, let me give it the opportunity for the council, and I'll start with Mr. Vela. Mr. Vela, any questions on the preliminary budget?
No questions right now.
Thank you, Mr. Vela. Mr. Plata?
Randy, so when on our budget for the 2019-2020, we had budget and we were gonna end up with 1,509,837, correct?
Yes, sir.
So if we go with a 0.5299, but how much but our ending fund balance is gonna be more or less what?
Go back to that Angie. Okay, sir. So at 5299, it's at 5299. If you look at the estimate for 2019-2020 column, we're
Yes, sir.
estimating $5.4 million to end up this year. Keep in mind, close to 3 million of that is CARES Act reimbursements. So that's something that is factored in here as part of the fund balance. So to answer your question, sir, at 5299, we're estimating the fund balance for next year at 3.5 million for next year. Keep in mind that the 5299 affects the fund balance for next year, or the estimate for next year. So the current estimate, the 5.4 will remain the same. That's our current estimate for this year at the current tax rate. And for next year, your question, 5299, we're estimating 3.5 million for next year.
So without CARES funding, we were gonna end up with about $1 million more than what we have budget, correct?
Approximately, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes. I'll go with Mayor Pro Tem Nori Garza.
I don't have any questions, Mayor. Thank
Okay, thank you, Ms. Garza. Jessica Ortega, you on?
Yes, Mayor.
For the record, she's on, Nelly. So I will ask you your opinion of the preliminary budget. Do you have any questions?
I do. I want more clarification, Randy. If we go with the least percentage in the chart, I can't see it here, but there was a chart where it was, keep going.
On the scenarios, ma'am?
Yeah, the percentage of 5212. So if it's 5212, yeah, you already passed it, the one I wanted. But the one with 5212, what's that increase in
So-
cents?
So the increase, okay, so our current rate is 5212, right?
Okay.
And so for the 5299, the difference is 0.0087. So it's less than 1 cent. And so
Okay.
the 5490 from the current rate, it's 0.0278. So it's over 2 cents, approximately close to 3 cents.
And if the 0.5490, if you have a house of 200,000, the estimate monthly rate will be approximately $4, right? 405,
463, sir. Yes, sir.
463, or let's round it off to $5 for the sake of discussion. So an additional $5 a month. That's what our taxpayers would be paying extra. for the additional programs that we want to add.
Okay, now I want to go into the slide where it says how much we have in general fund and then how much if we decide to give raises, what that's gonna leave after.
Okay, this one. Yes, ma'am. So this is, this one,
No,
depending
I'm sorry, the one before that.
on the different options?
This one right here. Okay,
Yes.
so let's say we go with option D. So you're gonna have in the current estimated 3 million. But then after if we decide to go with A, we're gonna have in the general fund 1,742,000, right?
That's if we, yes, ma'am, if we have the same rate, the 5212, that's correct.
Okay, and if to have 2 months in reserve, like we would like to, what would it have to be?
So in order for us to have, it would have to be approximately about 7 million total. So this particular, if you look at option A, for example, on the bottom, the 5212, we're at 3 million. With the 5299, we're at 3.5 million, and the 5490, we're at 4.3 million. So that 4.3 million, the 2 month is approximately about 7 million.
But to answer your question, Mr. Perez, we have to go beyond 0.5499 to get the 7 million in the fund balance, and that would trigger a rollback election. Am I correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
The 5490 is the max that we can go without having to go on election, correct?
That's
Yes, sir,
correct.
that's
Sir.
correct.
Which is almost a 3-cent increase.
Yes, it's 0.287, sir.
How much did we increase it last year?
3 cents.
And this year, the point between the 0.52 and the difference between the current and the 0.52 is almost a 5299. It's almost a 1 cent, correct?
Yes, sir, it's 0.0087.
And your recommendation, Randy, again for the record, what would it be?
Yes, ma'am. My recommendation is the 5490 for the continuation of increasing our fund balance, and then also with the anticipation of issuing certificate of obligations here in the next couple months to do major projects that would affect our M&O and INS rate, and so to plan for that as well. And of course, to continue improving our balances.
Okay, and then my last comment, Mayor, just for the record, I understand that for many years we never increased taxes, but there was also where we would get from the utility fund, and we're no longer able to do that. Am I correct, Randy?
We did set up a formula based on the Texas Water Development Board. If you recall, we came up with a formula to be able to transfer the utility funds. And so we're currently transferring 10% of the operating budget. So in this particular case, it's 4.3 million. However, one of the things that we're not transferring as on the solid waste, which is our sanitation, the previous year was 3 million. So this year we're proposing 1.2 million. So we're reducing that by 1.8 million. And that's to help the sanitation department as well for future planning on equipment replacement plans and so forth. So we are reducing that transfer by $1.8 million.
So I also have a question to you, Randy. If we were to go with what your recommendation is, and I myself, if I were to, I mean, I would, if I had a choice, but we can't because the city needs some type of increase. I don't like to raise taxes, right? But because of your recommendation, it's something that we need to consider to continue. But
Did we lose you or you're thinking?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I just want to remind everybody that we are live. Thank you.
Did we lose you, Mr. Ortega, or
No,
you
I'm
thinking?
here. I'm writing my thoughts down.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. You're thinking,
I'm
so
on the-
that's,
I'm on the road, sorry, and it's a little difficult to do two things at once, I guess. I should stop. I guess my question is, would you be able to do this if because I still don't know which way I'm leading towards. But if you were to do this, would it be possible for us not to increase taxes for the next 2 years? And are you gonna be able, as the city manager, to be able to go with the most this year and not raise taxes in the next 2 years?
That's all dependent on the overall operation, man. One of the things that we need to consider is that, you know, of course, our city growth throughout the year, that plays a big part. If we do have a substantial amount of growth in the city, that offsets any type of increase. However, if we do want to plan for projects, major projects out of operating funds, at that point, you know, we would look at what funds are available. So there's a lot of factors that play into that. Again, depending on the growth of the city, that would definitely offset any type of tax increase. However, we are one of the lowest cities tax rate, and therefore, you know, we do need the additional tax revenue to be able to one, sustain the services that we currently offer, and then also continue improving our city.
Thank you for your response, Randy.
are
I
those
have no
all
more-
your questions, Mr. Ortega?
Yes, I have no more questions. Thank you, Mayor, for being
Okay.
patient.
Not a problem. In my case, my take is that I'm going with 0.5490, and basically I like the idea of that Ms. Ortega brought about freezing the taxes for 3 years, but I don't know, 3 years is too many years as far as forecasting, but I kind of want to compromise and raise the taxes this year and not raise the taxes next year, but keep the 0.5490 for the 2 years. You know, but based on the fact that we cannot predict the future, you know, I mean, this year we've had the pandemic, we had the hurricane. There's 2 hurricanes developing out of Africa right now that are pointing to the Gulf. You know, things are 2020 has been a very, very different year. So my recommendation would be at 0.5490. I'm going to ask the council for them to support our city manager and support the mayor with 0.5490, since the governor take advantage of the governor's opportunity that he opened the door and opened the opportunity for us because of the COVID-19, be able to use the 8% and not the 3%. Or otherwise we would be locked at 3% unless we wanted to go take it to the citizens with an election. Without further ado, one last round of last thoughts about the preliminary budget. So I can go to item number 3. I'll give you a couple of seconds. I'm calling for special meeting agenda item number 3, and Mr. Perez, I want you to take the lead on it and tell us what we have to do as far as I've never had to do a record vote on virtual before, because all of the other ones that I've had experience with, we have been in person and live. So please let us know how we can legally do that. And Mr. Martinez, please don't hesitate to come in with your legal advice. Mr. Perez, you have the floor.
Yes, sir. And so item number 3 is the discussion and action on proposed 2020 tax rate and take record vote and schedule public hearings. So in this particular item, sir, we are asking that the council take a record vote on the proposed tax rate. Now, this tax rate it is proposed. We don't adopt the actual tax rate until we right prior to approving the budget. And so just so you all know, the rate would be proposed, and at the same time, we would bring it back to schedule a public hearing on September the 14th, when we adopt the budget at that particular meeting. And we would also ask, we are required one public hearing. We did get confirmation that we can adopt the tax rate the same meeting date as a public hearing. So our schedule for that would be on the September the 14th. And we do adopt the tax rate and adopt the budget at that meeting. So at this time, sir, I would ask that we take a record vote on the proposed tax rate. Again, this rate, the proposed tax rate can be lowered at the adoption of the tax rate, but it cannot be increased, or I should say. So the proposed rate that could be proposed today can be decreased, but not increased. So I just wanted to share that information. Again, my recommendation for the proposed tax rate is 54.90.
Thank you, Mr. Perez, for your recommendation, and I'll be the first one to vote a record vote. I concur with Mr. Perez at 0.5490. And do I need to raise my hand, or how do I record my vote, Mr. Perez?
Gus, is raising of the hand sufficient? Gus, are you on?
Yes, Randy, that would be sufficient.
Nelly, do you see my hand?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, I just want to confirm that that's my record vote, 0.5490.
Okay, yes, I can see it.
Okay, I'll move on to Mayor Pro Tem Nori Garza.
Mayor, my vote is for 0.5299, which is the 3% increase that was originally the amount that we could increase the taxes before the pandemic situation. So I'm comfortable with that 3%, and I know that it's too hard to say that we're not going to increase taxes the next couple of years, because we don't know what the future holds for us. I think we'll have a healthier fund balance with this tax rate, and I'm still hoping that Randy can get us some even better numbers at the end of the fiscal year. So my vote is for 0.5299.
Is it registered, Nelly?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Plata?
Yes, Mayor, good afternoon. Yes, my recommendation is 0.5299 for every $100 value.
Can you raise your hand, sir, so we can visually see you? Nelly, has it been?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Nelly. Mr. Vela?
My vote also is for 0.5299. I think we need to take a steady, slow approach to any raising of taxes, and we can reevaluate next year.
Yeah. Will you please raise your hand, Mr. Vela, so we can record you? Thank you. Nelly, did you record it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Ortega?
I'm in support of the city manager's recommendation at 0.5490.
Will you please raise your hand, ma'am?
Well, they're not gonna be able to see me, Mayor, because I'm not, but yes, my hand is raised.
Okay.
Mayor, this is Gus Martinez, Mayor. They don't really need to raise their hands as long as it's audible enough that they vote individually and that Nelly records their vote. Raising of the hand is not necessary.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Nelly, are you recording Ms. Ortega's vote?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, obviously it's 3-2, you know, as far as that is concerned, and we're gonna move forward. Just keep in mind that in September the 14th, when we adopt the tax rate, we're not gonna be able to go any higher. Am I correct, Mr. Pettis?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay,
Mayor, we're gonna need a motion to accept the record vote and move towards its adoption at the public hearing.
do I hear a motion?
I'll move.
Do I hear
Second,
a second? Any
Second,
any final discussions before we move? All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. I don't hear a nay, so the motion passes 5-0 for the record, Nelly. And I'm calling for the executive session pursuant to VTCA Government Code Section 55.001. And do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Do I hear a
Mayor.
second? We have a
Second.
motion and a second. And this I open up for final discussion. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and we are moving to executive session. Mr. Pettis, you're directed to take the necessary action for us to go electronically on executive session.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mayor and Council, this is David Flores. I'm going to set up the breakout rooms. Do not leave your phone. You'll get an invite. And so just stand by. Give me a second. Okay, Nori, you're not in the breakout room. I sent you an invite.
Oh,
You haven't.
Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. Well, I'm not in the sign.
Or send someone else an invite to the breakout room and I'll kick them out of their office.
No, I'll do it. Hold on a second. Because I put you in the breakout room, but you couldn't, your audio didn't work.
No, the same thing happened on Monday's meeting. Like,
All right, let me go to Ida's. Go to Ida's office? No, we'll kick her out though. Oh, you don't want to go over there?
No.
Unless you want to go to Nellie's.
That's fine.
Okay, go to Nellie's.
David, you can send Gus to my office.
Okay. I think he's going to Nellie's, so where's Nellie?
David, we can still hear you in the regular room, David.
Yeah. I don't go to the executive session. But
Okay.
I'm looking for Nellie.
I'm in the one that says Roxanne Lerma. I
Oh,
have a
you're in,
laptop. Yes, I have a laptop, Roxanne's.
oh, okay. So Gus is gonna head to that office.
Okay,
So
okay,
you'll have to leave, yeah.
okay, I will.
I'll tell you what,
Nelly,
I'll
go
wait till you
into
get-
go into my office, Miss Nelly. That way, when they come back, you're not caught
Okay.
off guard.
can
Okay,
you accept the invitation to go to the breakout room?
yes.
Ha, we did it. Okay, while I have you guys on the line, so just so you know, the IT infrastructure is going to start. They're going to start working at City Hall running cable. They're going to start Monday. I sent out an email to everyone in City Hall, but just so everyone knows what's going on, they're going to work from 5 p.m. to midnight. We have got someone on light duty that's going to oversee the workers that'll be here. I did in the email I sent out, I said, if you have valuables, I said to remove them. You can put them in a drawer or whatever, because like I said, we will have people here to observe. I'm sorry. I'm talking to everybody. No, I'm not in the breakout room. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So shortly thereafter, they're going to start with the EOC, setting up the EOC, wiring and cabling in there, and then they'll start in the council chambers. So I just want to let you know that they're getting ready to get started here at City Hall. All right, that's all I got.
David, did you lock the meeting?
I did lock the meeting because of that guy.
Yeah, I think Nelly's probably not gonna be able to get on.
Well, I think I can unlock it now. You think I can? Yeah, I think it'd be all right.
Okay, yeah, because I've got Judy also trying to log on because she logged herself off and she's sending me messages that it says it's been locked by the host.
Okay, I've unlocked it.
Okay.
Okay.
You might want to check to make sure Nelly can get on.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're back.
Yes.
¿Dónde andas ahora, Mr. Plata? Still back in California?
I'm in California, but in San Francisco.
Mayor, you're muted, Mayor.
Mr. Plata, you're in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Nelly, confirm quorum so we can get, reconvene.
Okay, I see Mr. Plata, Ms. Garza, Mr. Vela, and let's see. I heard Ms. Ochoa.
Yes, she's on there.
Okay, we have quorum, Mayor. I see you as well.
Okay, thank you, Nelly. I will entertain a motion to reconvene.
I'll move to recommend, man.
We have a
Second.
motion. Do I hear a second? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. A motion carries. I will call for executive session, personnel matter, section 551.07A, the city attorney evaluation. Mr. Plata, you wanna let us know, Mr. Plata?
Oh, there's no action, but will be, that's been tabled to be discussed on the last council meeting in September.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I know Mr. Martinez, that might not require a motion, but we did it anyway.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's better safe than sorry, so I will call for special meeting agenda item number 5. Do I hear a motion?
I'll move to adjourn.
We have a
Second.
motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a second. So all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries and we're adjourned.